Hey everyone, great day. It's Terilee Harrison, and it's a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you for your interest in the Digital Accelerator series. I'm going to be coming to you every Friday morning with some aspect of building your authority, building your credibility to be able to grow your business and get more sales. Today, I'm focusing on the digital hub strategy. I'm going to be talking a wee bit about the importance of familiarity, about people being familiar with you. So let's dive in. This series, they're not designed to be long. I'm not going to hold you for an hour. I'm going to share some great content, perhaps do a bit of Q&A, and then we will get on with our day. So I'm super excited to have you here. So when it comes to the digital hub strategy, when we refer to this at Eric Lofholm Home International, we really go back to the origin of it, and that would be with Apple and their digital hub strategy. There was a time that Steve Jobs had stepped away from Apple, and as he was looking to come back, believe it or not, can you imagine the days when there anymore when there wasn't the iPhone and the iPad, and like, can you just imagine that there were those days, and we've all lived those days, right? But the idea of coming together and originally creating the place where all the iPod, remember when the iPod came out? But coming together and, like, instead of having individual products and there was nothing tying them all together, intentionally creating some of these amazing products, which so many of us have purchased, which so many of us have used throughout the years, and other companies certainly have copied similar strategies. So today, what I'd love you to do is, sometimes we can be thinking in our business about all the things we want to accomplish right now. It's fourth quarter 2023. My fourth quarter goals are right over here. I know the things I'm doing, and we perhaps don't plan and tie everything together. And so today, I want to share this concept with you, and I'll never forget when it was first suggested to me to develop one and to put it together so that I could see it visually. And I was like, sure, I'll do that. And I can't tell you what a difference it made to me to have it done visually, to have it be at my workspace. And there were some things that I had developed and some things that were to be developed, but to see them and visualize them and get them done made such a huge difference. So I'm just going to share some examples with you, and I want you to be thinking about what might you like to be developing, to be writing down what you have developed, and make sure that part of what makes the digital hub strategy work is that every product, service, or a marketing piece will point to each other. So if you have a podcast, let's say, you will point it to your possibly, well, everywhere, but definitely like somewhere, like your Facebook group. If you have a book, you will point it to the group and the podcast. Like, everything is all pointing to each other. And so as we take a look at some examples, I would love for you just to jot down what resonates most with you. And then if you would like, if you've not done this yet, I am happy to email this to you, and look what we have here. Like, if you really want to get official, this can be something that can be done on a napkin, but if you would like to begin to brainstorm with the actual worksheet, I will totally email you this. So I invite you to, if you would like to receive this PDF, put your email in the chat. Put your email in the chat. I'm happy to send it to you. And then also, I will say here for anyone that's watching the replay, if you email me, I'll put it here in the chat, Terilee@ericlofholm.com. I will send it to the people watching the replay as well. So let's take a look at what some options are. Some of these you already have done. Some of these you may have been thinking about doing, and some just won't be, that's not for me. Okay, so I have several examples. So most of us probably aren't going to be developing exactly what Apple did, but we have here the ultimate coach, the being movement. And this is a strategy that came about. It's going to be 2 years ago now. In November is when it first came out. It was based on a book written by about Steve Hardison, not by him, about Steve Hardison. And it all started with a Facebook group. So it started with a Facebook group. And from there, over the next 2 years, it has grown to, and there's something missing here, but it has grown to be a podcast. It has grown to be a membership site. They have their LinkedIn group as well. All the things they do go on a YouTube channel. Of course, there's the book. They have an Instagram, but they also do events. When you look at those, you may want to think about, yes, these are the things I want to do. And if you're doing anything with video, it makes perfect sense to want to build a YouTube channel. For sure. Makes perfect sense. So we can certainly send this to you so you can be taking a look, but let's come down here. So over to the left, let's look at some more options. So some of you may want to be developing programs, courses, programs. So I'm on the left-hand side. And so we could be that you have a book, and truly the book usually for me is some of the course material, right? There'll be people that consume you and invest and pay thousands of dollars with you to have you coach them, to consult with them. And there'll be people that all they ever get your help with is a $20 book. They don't really have access to you, right? So having both makes a lot of sense. It could be that you do podcasts and live streaming. I just am doing a 5-minute live stream every day throughout fourth quarter, Monday through Friday. I just got off of that before I popped on here, right? But you can definitely be podcasts, live streaming. You can have events. You can have the Facebook group. You could choose. So here are some different ones, like online workshops, like this. I am modeling this after there was a season back in, I want to say 2021, but it could have been 2020, where once a week, every week, once a week, yeah. I went online and I had what I called the Winning Online Workshop, and it was all kinds of things related to networking and growing your business. And I went a whole 9 months before I recreated new content. Like I could come up with 9 months of Mondays. That's a lot of just of content. And I would show up. And what do you gain by that? What do I gain by showing up every week with this? And think about how this might apply to you. And you don't have to go every week. Like, I'm committed for the quarter. I'm not committed forever. You could do a 4-week series, an 8-week series. You could go for a quarter, right? Or you could go on, you could just keep going. But giving yourself permission to have it be a series allows you to be able to take a break if you wish, right? When we make a commitment, we want to show up. But what do I gain by this? Well, I wrote it on my wall in my goals. May I take a peek? Because I just want to make sure I tell you everything. Oh, yes. Okay. To build familiarity. Now might be a good time to talk about that, but it's an opportunity to build your email list. It's an opportunity to book coaching sessions with people who come to know you, who want to chat with you, so you can get to know them better and possibly help them with the things that you're teaching. And then it's an opportunity ultimately for us to be able to sell our services, sell our products, sell our programs, sell our courses. So let's pause and talk about familiarity, and then we'll talk more about the programs that you could possibly be wanting to create. So familiarity, I think I've come to realize, is a very key component in people along the knowing you, liking you, and trusting you phase. People do business, as we know, with those they know, like, and trust. And as an example, we have a high-end speaking program that we sell at Eric Loff Home International. And I find, people meeting you for the first time, they may not be ready yet to make a high-end investment in you. But if you have something that is a smaller investment, they might be willing to make that first as they gain their trust, right? And every time you show up, whether it's a weekly workshop, whether it's a live, whether it's something else that you do, and the more they get to know you, the more comfortable. I have found, especially, and I can tell you in recent months, that personal conversations I had with people at the end of July turned into sales in August and September. They were familiar. They were ready to go. So that is why online workshops could be helpful. And this is why familiarity is so important. Showing up online, having something like your digital hub, all these things are important. So let's look at what you might be interested, or maybe you've already created it, right? Maybe it's just a 4-week program. Maybe it's like an actual recorded course and you're not going to be talking to people throughout. Maybe it's a 12-week program, or maybe it's just even a 12-month program, like you're a high-end, come work with me for a year program. So those are some ideas. Let's look over here on the right then at the continuous sales improvement hub, and let's just see if there's anything different. So we have definitely, as I come around, the website, our web presence for all these things can be super important, right? A master class could be one class that's held, and maybe you do it over and over, but think about the possibility of that. And then the idea of creating something that it's a movement, but what is it? It's like building your tribe and having people be excited to be part of your tribe, right? You have a culture, a climate that you're creating, and where people want to come and they want to be part, they want to participate in your groups, they want to participate in the things you do, right? So think about, some of you might totally be wanting to create a movement. So I'm gonna, again, I'm offering to send this for you to check out. And then the thing about when you brainstorm what you want to create, and again, it could be that some things are already done, and so you're going to include the things that you are doing, and you want to be intentionally pointing everything to each other, right? But what I want you to do when you create it is make it like the things that you would like to create now, like if there was nothing stopping you, like if it, and like it's not like, oh well, I can't have a website because it's not in the budget right now. No, put the website down, put all the things down. This is like your dream digital hub, because when the things are down, like even like my 4th quarter goals right here on the wall, when the things are down, the things can happen, and they will more likely happen because we're setting intention, and we're gonna walk through the things to make sure that they happen. So just know, again, that you don't have to know how to do it. You just need to know what it is. So I want to invite you to consider brainstorming your digital hub. And I want to also just invite you that if we have not talked about your digital hub and you would like to chat with me about it, what's happening in your business, some of your goals for Q4, I would love to be able to have a chat with you and be able to get to know you better and talk about what's happening in your business and see if I could help make a difference for you. And I'm going to give you this link to book a time with me. I'm happy to book a time and spend some time and get to know you better. And if I know you, see what's the latest in your business. So let's talk before we go, and we will open up for Q&A. Let's talk about how can you use this digital hub? Well, there's several ways. And number one would be your personal vision, having it for you. But number two, when you have that website, having this on the website, like this is all the ways you can do business with me. When you're talking with a new prospect, hey, this is how I do business, and these are all the ways that you can connect with me. These are the various ways you can do business with me. I think the visual really helps to explain what's happening in a way that no other mechanism could. And especially when you're just talking and saying, you know, hey, you could be part of an event, or hey, come to my workshop, and this is this course. And then imagine if you could be sharing that information back and forth with someone as you get to know them better. And so I want you to think about what ways that you could use the hub strategy. So this is what I want to share today. Again, I'm not thinking that we're going to be spending an hour together every Friday. Sometimes it may be a little shorter, sometimes a little longer, but I'm going to thank those watching the replay and invite them to certainly book a time with me at bookterilee.com. Look forward to seeing you here next week, if you can make it, at our Digital Authority series. And so I'll stop the recording, then we'll go to Q&A. Great to have you with us, everybody. Alan, it's great to see you.
It's great to